So I will replace this jack with my little dolly. My little dolly, yes, I play with dollies. With my little dolly, I'll go get my little dollies. Found my dollies. I don't play with girls' toys. When you go to close that, there's going to be seed bound up in between the door and the frame of the hopper. Hey guys, so we are back out at the airport today, as you can see. It's Sunday afternoon, so I don't plan on doing a whole lot today. I did just install a Level Mate Pro on that camper over there, so I got that done. Probably should have recorded it, but I didn't. I need to get this spreader off here. My center section for the spray boom, the new spray system, is on the way, so hopefully it'll be here in a day or two, but hoping it'll be here tomorrow, but we'll see. But I use this ATV jack or motorcycle jack, whatever you want to call it, just to kind of stabilize this front end. See if I can show you how this works. It's not too bad to take it on and off. I should have probably got a couple blocks, but that's all right. All right, so it's up under it now, holding the front end. So let me kick back here out of the way and set that camera up and see what we can do. Got my microphone on, so hopefully see me, hear me. Got my microphone on, so hopefully you can see me. I'm not sure how that works, but anyway, you never know. These crazy pilots, farmer pilots, crop dusters, you just never know what they're gonna say. Forgot that I put cotter pins in those. I'm gonna get some gloves on. Hang on. I'm gonna have to open up the, I gotta open up the hopper door. Oh, yeah, I need some blocks on there. I'll go get some blocks. Already made a mistake. And put that down a little bit more. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go open that gate. All right, for some reason I'm thinking there shouldn't have been that much seed in there, but now I got a mess to clean up. Hang on. Let's see if we can get these pins out here now. I'd like to lower this front end down. Okay, that pin's out. And that pin's out. So now, should be able to push this back and lower it down. Let's see if that works. If I unhook these, I think that'll give me more movement. So I can go back further. I will unhook the one on the other side. And we'll leave the end ones hooked up. This spreader goes on and off once a year. You get down south where the guys are running fertilizer and the rice and all that stuff, there's times they're switching between wet and dry every day. So kudos to those guys. They really know what they're doing. Ouch. Taking these on and off. I don't really. I just fumble my way through it. Yeah, I've got more movement now, so that's what it was. It was holding me. All right, so I will replace this jack with my little dolly. My little dolly, yes, I play with dollies. With my little dolly, I'll go get my little dollies. Found my dollies. There's one dolly. I bet Jackson and Ben were watching this and thought that I really did play with dollies. But this is what it is, guys. I don't play with girls' toys. And Jackson, just so you know, there's never going to be a good time to buy a Ferrari. Just saying. Jackson will know what I'm talking about. Everybody else watching is like, what in the world is he talking about? Oh. Jackson will know. Okay. Ooh, I'll come over to your side since you're there. Get this out of here. There was a little bit of seed left in there. I think it was from that very front of the tank where it kind of sits up in there. Okay. So, first load of the season, we'll throw a little an extra bag of seed in to compensate for that. Well, I guess I'm getting it back now, right? My bag of seed. But it looks like I got all the fines and stuff, so I think I got ripped off. That's all right. Cost of doing business. Okay.
I'll do this from the other side.
Okay. Just like that. So, yeah, I was really dreading doing this, but it's really not that bad. We've been using the dollies for several years now, and it makes it so much simpler. Okay, let's spreader off. Now, my job isn't quite done yet. I have to retighten the nuts on the gate because I loosen it up after we do liquid. I think I maybe explained this when I was putting it on. I'm not sure, but think about it. That gate's got to be really tight to keep the liquid in and not drip. But once you start using that same gate and seeds going in and out, when you go to close that, there's going to be seed bound up in between the door and the frame of the hopper. So you have to loosen that a little bit so that you can, otherwise you wouldn't get it closed. So when I'm seeding, I keep track of my loads, and so let's see, for instance, I was doing a cereal rye radish clover mix. Doing a 60-foot swath. They wanted 13 pounds an acre. Density makes a difference, so you got to check this stuff because they'll give you all kinds of weird mixes of seed. How are you? Yeah, I know what cereal rye should roughly be, and I know what oats should roughly be. But when they start mixing things, you lose track of what your density is, and So anyway, like in this airplane, a cereal rye, I can usually spread like a 60-foot swath, because cereal rye is heavier, and that would probably be about the same with like pelletized, fertilizer or whatever. Oats is a lot lighter, so I back off to like a 55-foot swath. I'll just have to make a couple extra passes across the field, but the oats aren't going to fly out as far as like a heavier product will, so that's why you'll see different swath widths. But anyway, the only reason I got this out is my cheat sheet. My front gate nuts, I opened them 5 turns, and the back ones 1 turn. So now I got to reverse that. I got to close those back up so that my gate is tight again for water. So front nuts 5 turns, back 1 turn, and I keep it on this sheet. So now next year when I go to do this, I'll know in order to get roughly these numbers and these settings again, because like here's my gate setting, and that's not actually my gate setting, that's my lever inside from where I measure from point A to point B. It might be 5 7/8 inches or 6 1/4. So gate set, it's a lot easier to measure what you're doing in there versus and readjust than to come out here and say, oh, my gate setting is 1/8 of an inch or 3/16 or whatever. Anyway, so when it says gate setting, that's truly not the gate setting, how far it is open. That's just my lever position inside. So, but everything's on the same sheet now, so when I go to put this back on this coming fall, I know that the front nuts I open up 5 turns and the back nuts 1 turn. So we're going to reverse that and close them up. So if I do the other one, I just need to go 5 turns. I haven't touched this one yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these have a lock nut on them as well. Oh, reverse thread. Need to remember that when I go to tighten them. Ow! Ouch. Okay, that one came loose. Okay. These are reverse threads, right? Yep. There's 1 turn. One turn. Okay. What I'll do, I can do it right now. I close this gate and just kind of make sure that the distances look similar. And okay, I'm going to go up and pull that lever and tighten that up. We'll see. That doesn't feel super tight, but if it holds water, then we're good. Spreader removal, job complete. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to do some aviation stuff today. We did get our new spray booms, so we're going to work on those. We did get, I don't know, maybe 6/10 of an inch of rain over the weekend. They were calling for 2 to 5 and we got 6/10, go figure. So anyway, we did get some more planting done on Saturday, and Sunday it was raining when we woke up, so had the day off yesterday, and today we're gonna go work on some of our own stuff. So we just went and got the water trailer out of storage, and we will get that. It's been winterized, so we'll get that put back in service. We'll need that for rinsing out all the lines and everything in the airplane, because they get stuffed full of seed when you're doing seeding in the fall. So we'll rinse that whole system out, put water in the hopper, make sure everything's sealed up good. So yeah, I'm not sure we'll get that far today. We got to turn water back on to our office. You know, we winterize our office and everything. So we got to get that back in service. So anyway, we're just going to kind of work on our stuff out at the airport today, and we'll see how far we get. But camera girl, who likes to stay behind the camera, is here today as well. And Gracie's here. Gracie, are you here today?
She's helping.
Gracie, are you helping? Are you with Mom and Dad today? Yep. She don't care. Whatever we do, wherever we go, as long as she can be with us. So, all right, we'll check back in out the airport. I can allow that. All right, guys, well, my spray booms finally showed up. They actually showed up last week, but we've been dealing with planting and stuff. I did open them up to inspect them and took one boom out. So, really nice packaging. They weren't gonna get damaged there, but we'll take a look at this boom. So they are, I don't know what the coating is that's on it, but they are dip coated, so that they won't corrode or whatever. We're normally just doing fungicides, maybe some insecticides, so we don't do much corrosive stuff up here anyway. But so looking forward to getting, you know, these on and getting the tips on them. So we'll get the boom mounted up here and show you that when we get ready to mount it up. All right, so I need to get all my hose clamps and rubber mounting pieces and all that off my old booms. I gotta get all these J-tubes off here. We're not reusing the check valves. I've gone to a different brand. These were all new last year and I had a lot of problems with them. That's what I've always ran. I don't know if the quality has gone downhill. I have no idea, or maybe I was doing something wrong. I don't know, but I had issues with them last year, and it could be the stuff that the retailers were putting in their mixes. So we've gone to a different check valve, which supposedly will eliminate that issue. It can handle some of this stuff that they're putting in. They'll put in like this whatever that's supposed to increase yield or make the spray lay down better or whatever, but this stuff has come to us, and even though we run through a filter, stuff will still get through, and there'll be, what was the one? Fish scales?
Fish scales, yep.
Yeah, there's like fish scales in it.
Tons of like gritty, kind of like, is it
almost like sand?
sand?
Yeah. So I don't know what this stuff is. I'm not a fan of it, but I have, you know, I don't have to put on what the retailer says. I mean, if it's ridiculous, I won't do it. But this stuff, if they're going to keep running it, then I've got to get a better system to deal with it, basically. So those check valves, we'll be putting those up for sale. They've only got, you know, 1 year, one season through them, and our season up here is pretty short. So that's anyway, enough on that. But we'll get the parts off these and start converting over to that other one. But I got to get the boom mounted on the airplane first. So we'll start there. All right, so we think we've got the angle right. I mean, this can pivot, and you got to remember that once this is in flight position, the tail is going to come up. So trying to kind of keep the bottom of that wing, you know, you got to visualize that being level, and you know, obviously you don't want the wing level and then the spray boom like this, you want to try and keep everything parallel to each other, perpendicular, I don't know, something like that. So we're going to try this, see what it looks like at some point, and that's a quick fix. I mean, we could literally take this thing outside and use the forklift and raise the back end of the plane and get everything in flight position and check everything over again. But so now we just need to, we normally wrap rubber around it, use hose clamps and clamp it down tight to that piece down there, and then it doesn't move. So they've got, I should do some research, they've got better, fancier boom clamps and all that stuff, but for right now I'm just going to tie it down with this. That way it's ready. If the weather would ever cooperate, I would like to get this thing out. I need to get fuel back in it, and because the wing tanks are completely empty, but I need to get fuel back in it, and I'd like to take this thing for a flight. So if nothing else, while I'm working on it, I'll attach them with the old system so that it would be ready to fly if I ever got the chance, if the weather would cooperate. But they definitely got it packaged up good.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. A lot of times you get stuff and it's not packaged worth a darn and it's all damaged up. Not the case here. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Do I need to push it anyway?
Right there. How's she feel? All right. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go the first 3 and then we'll start skipping. We'll put plugs in. And every other one will have a plug. Because even with every other one, you can go up to at least 5-gallon work. If you had to start doing 10, 15, 20-gallon work, which sometimes they do down south, you'll open up and you'll have a nozzle in every hole. But we don't need that up here. But I have the booms so that I have the capability, if needed, if I travel down south. So anyway, that's why that is that way. But first things first, let's put a little thread sealant. What do some people call it? Monkey blood? Yeah, there's all kinds of good names for this stuff.
I remember my dad saying monkey blood.
Yeah. Then the piece I'm attaching here, that could be a dubicary or a thingamajig or whatever, so there's just so many options. Now, you might ask, why am I going to run 3 nozzles here and then start skipping? Well, because I don't run nozzles underneath the airplane. The prop wash will grab this extra nozzle and bring that spray underneath. So basically, these nozzles are going to move, that spray is going to move that way and kind of fill in. And then in June, this plane will be going to a spray clinic, especially since it's got a new system on it. But it'll be going to a spray clinic, and it'll be, my spray pattern will be analyzed. I'll take my kit so that if I need to add or subtract or do something different, I can, so that I can get my spray pattern exactly where I want it to be. So.
And then that's the, you call that the check valve or the?
This is the check valve. So you can, if it's attached, you can spin it off. You see there's a screen in there, better screening capabilities. The guys that run these claim that they don't have any issues with them. Everything's just kind of hand tight. Here is the actual check valve. So the spray will come in through the center, and it's got to get to a certain pressure to activate that spring. Basically what that does is when you shut this thing off at the end of the field and you're flying up over the highway or over somebody's house or whatever, your booms aren't dripping then. It keeps everything from dripping because you have to have basically like 7 to 10 pounds of pressure to get it to spray. And in the off position, actually in the off position on these airplanes, it goes to a negative pressure, like negative 4 or 5 pounds.
Which was
Suck back. And there was a video on that.
Yep.
So, and that's why. I mean, obviously we don't want these planes dripping when we're not spraying. And they don't. I mean, they've had many years of fine tuning this stuff, and yeah, that's all I know about that.
Okay, so that goes on next.
This goes on next.
No monkey blood between plastic and...
That's what the manufacturer of these told me. He says you don't have to run thread sealant between the plastic and the metal. I'm like, okay, but obviously that will be metal to metal, so I'll have to put sealant on there. I'm going to follow directions. And obviously the first time we spray with this, it'll be straight water, so we'll be able to see if anything's dripping or anything and correct it before we start spraying chemicals.
We call that the J tube.
This is a J tube, yep. I suppose because it's in the shape of a J, maybe, I don't know.
I think it makes sense.
What that does, what it's doing is just getting the nozzles. You're trying to get your boom and your nozzles down away from the airflow of the wing. So you're just trying to get everything down into clean air, which then in turn gives you a lot better spray pattern.
And then on the end is the spray nozzle.
That's the spray nozzle, and that's got many different settings. It's got 5 different orifice settings. It's got 3 different deflection settings. Very, very maneuverable, capable. What's the word? I don't know. Something like that. You can adjust it many different ways.
Okay.
Yay, I got 2 of them done.
There's 2.
Okay, your turn. You can go show them what you're doing.
Okay. So I took off all the J tubes and the spray tips off of the old booms. And now I'm going to take the part off that we are not going to use anymore, which is this part right here we're not going to use anymore. So I'm going to take those off so that he can use these to put on the new boom.
Probably be faster if I had a ratchet, but
Just putting the plugs in.
putting some plugs in. Trying not to get everything all smeary.
And you have to hold your tongue just right.
Yep, pretty much. All right, guys, so I'm done working on this for tonight. So here you can see what I got done. Got all the plugs in, most of the check valves in. I was 1 nipple short to be able to get that one done. But got some of the J tubes on, some of the nozzles. But anyway, we're making progress. Still need to hook up that spray on-off wire, which comes over. That wire will be run through the airplane and then come down through here and hook to that pressure switch. So